Hi everybody, I just want to do a quick update on the approximately 450 megahertz Yagi antenna. That is the second Instructable in the series of how to make a directed energy weapon detection system for less than $50. There's the update with the first due detection method regarding re-radiated signal from a victim who's being targeted, or at least that's a theory. So I decided I'd go ahead and make a approximately 450 megahertz Yagi antenna for this new method using a software application developed to detect the re-radiated signal. Could be from a dog too, I guess. In particular, though, most concern would be the humans, especially if there's some sort of, imminent threats, grave concern. So I saw that Clint had recommended he use this antenna here, and it was about $50, $60 on AliExpress. So I took some screenshots and used two methods to come up with dimensions, and then I asked him if he could take the time, and he kindly took the time to measure out what he actually had. So I decided to use those measurements, and they correlated pretty close to what the one method I used using software and measuring. So basically, you just go to Instructable, search for the 450 megahertz Yagi antenna, and it's probably still a work in progress. I'll probably go through and edit a little more. Where I see it might be easier, I tend to probably TMI, too much information. We'll see if I get any feedback or not. And probably be good to break apart this Instructable into some easier to comprehend sections for those that are either, earlier on in the learning curve, may have, something developmental going on pre-existing, or because of the being targeted by whatever the RF or system is that's targeted them. And, those that are, as I was, and everybody is at some point in their learning cycle, development cycle, is, earlier on in the development cycle, and learning what can potentially happen theoretically with proven, known science. So check out the Instructable, and if you have the time, I recommend making one of these. I also recommend investing in a nano VNA. There's some links to nano VNA, and there's a link to a tutorial or two using the nano VNA, and then using a noise source and an RTL SDR. Literally, I linked to the cheapest DAB TV tuner I could find that are like under $10 now. So the noise source, it's maybe about, I don't know, under $10. You're looking under $20. But those nano VNAs I'm seeing, they're under $20 on AliExpress now, because the new H version came out, and then there's a version 2 that's coming out, and that's under or maybe around $50. I don't know if it's under $50 yet, but it's around $50. And that can go up to, I want to say, I think it's like 1.5 gigahertz. I mean, excuse me, the H version can go up to 1.5 gigahertz. The version 2, I think, can go up to like 3 gigahertz or something like that. So really interesting. That's kind of neat, because be able to tune something to look into. It's kind of neat looking at signals and seeing what's there, and if there's anything that stands out that's not supposed to be there, that's something we need to be concerned regarding, and that's something that can be reported, and at the least documented very clearly for those that aren't doing enforcement in the relative jurisdiction, though are and can in the relative jurisdiction, that are in other jurisdictions, so they can see and compile that information, so when the time comes to actually proceed with enforcing, they have that conclusive evidence to go by to actually proceed with their reasonable investigation. So get out there, make the antenna, get your resources together to be able to detect. interesting signals and signals that should be there and signals that should not be. Signals that can be potentially deadly.